What if I told you that some of the world's most powerful women live behind walls higher than palaces and guarded tighter than presidents? From Qatar's Queen of Fashion, Sheikha Moza bint Nasser, to the elusive Princess Haya of Dubai, each carries not only diamonds, but secrets of power, politics, and survival. Stay until the end, because one of them controls $1 billion empire through something far more valuable than money. Sheikha Moza bint Nasser, the power behind Qatar's throne. In Qatar's golden hierarchy, Sheikha Moza bint Nasser stands not just as royalty, but as the architect of an empire. The mother of the current Ameerah and wife of former ruler Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, she commands influence that stretches beyond palace walls, steering both policy and perception. Her estimated net worth of $15 billion places her among the richest women in the Middle East. Yet her power is measured more by intellect than inheritance. Surrounded by the Qatari Ameerah Guard, one of the most elite security divisions in the Gulf, her protection resembles that of a head of state. Convoys of armored Mercedes follow her movements through Doha, their tinted windows concealing a woman who shapes Qatar's future with precision. Educated in sociology and public policy, Sheikha Moza transformed Qatar's image from an oil-rich monarchy into a global education hub. She personally oversaw the creation of Education City, a vast campus hosting international institutions like Georgetown, Carnegie Mellon, and Texas A&M University, a project worth billions that redefined the nation's intellectual landscape. In 2018, she founded Silot, a non-profit addressing youth unemployment across the Middle East and North Africa, giving her legacy a distinctly human dimension amid immense wealth. Yet beyond power and policy lies her signature aesthetic, a blend of elegance and cultural restraint. Her wardrobe features Chanel, Elisab, Valentino, and Ralph & Rousseau, accessorized with Cartier and Van Cleef and Arpels jewelry. But every outfit adheres to Qatari modesty, a visual language that marries tradition and modern authority. Her influence in fashion led to her being ranked second on Vanity Fair's International Best Dressed list in 2011, later joining their Hall of Fame in 2015. Behind every silk turban and diamond brooch, there's a message that true power doesn't always roar. It can whisper through refinement, diplomacy, and vision. Asma al-Assad, the First Lady in the crossfire. When Asma al-Assad first appeared beside her husband in 2000, she looked less like a First Lady of the Middle East and more like a modern diplomat from London, the city where she was born and educated. But beneath that calm exterior lies one of the most polarizing women in the Arab world. Married to President Bashar al-Assad, Asma entered Syria's ruling circle with a reputation for intelligence and charm, holding degrees in computer science and French literature and a brief career at JP Morgan in the UK. Her estimated net worth of $50 million hardly captures her true power, influence built not on inheritance, but on her ability to shape Syria's image in times of chaos. Before war engulfed her country, Asma spearheaded programs that sought to modernize Syria. Through the Syria Trust for Development, she championed education, healthcare, and youth empowerment, raising millions in local and international funding. She was seen as the bridge between the old regime and a generation longing for reform. But when the civil war began, her silence became deafening. Once celebrated as a progressive icon, she was suddenly labeled by Western media as the First Lady from Hell. Still, within Damascus, her supporters describe her as steadfast a woman, protecting her family in a nation unraveling. In 2018, she faced another battle, breast cancer. She appeared on state television during chemotherapy, her head wrapped in a plain scarf, smiling at soldiers' families. When she recovered a year later, she was hailed domestically as a symbol of endurance. But fate wasn't finished with her. In 2024, she was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, forcing her to withdraw from public life once more. Even now, guarded by the Syrian Republican Guard, she remains both admired and condemned, a paradox of grace and defiance. Her story blurs the line between power and survival, and the next chapter may be her most revealing yet. What do you think her legacy will truly be remembered for? Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, the mother of the UAE. Among the royal matriarchs of the Gulf, Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak al-Ketbi stands as the quiet architect of the United Arab Emirates' social evolution. As the third wife of the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founding father of the UAE and the mother of its current president, her legacy extends beyond the royal palaces of Abu Dhabi. Though her personal net worth is undisclosed, her family's fortune, estimated at over $300 billion, positions her within one of the wealthiest dynasties in the world. Yet unlike many of her contemporaries, her influence was never expressed through opulence, but through transformation. Protected by the UAE Presidential Guard, her security rivals that of global heads of state, ensuring her safety during both national ceremonies and international engagements. Sheikha Fatima's most enduring achievement began in 1975, when she founded the General Women's Union, a groundbreaking institution that formalized female participation in education, governance, and the workforce across the Emirates. Through this platform, she initiated policies that expanded literacy programs for women, established vocational training centers, and promoted free public education nationwide. Her commitment to female empowerment was not symbolic. It reshaped the UAE's demographic of opportunity, ensuring women could lead ministries, universities, and corporate boards. Her efforts reached global recognition in 1997, when 5 United Nations agencies jointly honored her for contributions to gender equality and humanitarian development. That same year, she became the first Arab woman to receive UNESCO's Marie Curie Medal, a distinction previously reserved for scientists and human rights pioneers. Under her guidance, the UAE launched Emirati Women's Day, celebrated annually on August 28, and established the Sheikha Fatima Award of Excellence, which provides full scholarships for outstanding female students across the Middle East and India. Today, she is revered as al-Emirat, the mother of the nation. Her influence is not merely historical, it is structural, woven into the education of every Emirati girl and the confidence of every woman who steps into leadership. In a region where power is often inherited, Sheikha Fatima built hers through vision, patience, and a belief that progress begins with the empowerment of women. Princess Haya bint al-Hussein, the runaway royal. Few royal stories in the modern Arab world carry as much intrigue as that of Princess Haya bint al-Hussein, daughter of King Hussein of Jordan and the late Queen Alia. Born into one of the region's most respected monarchies, she lived a life that combined diplomacy, elegance, and international education, studying at Oxford University before becoming an accomplished equestrian who competed in the 2000 Sydney Olympics. But her marriage in 2004 to Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai and billionaire behind the Godolphin racing empire, shifted her destiny from privilege to peril. With an estimated net worth of $670 million, Princess Haya once lived among the world's most opulent settings, her Dubai residences filled with art, stables housing thoroughbred horses worth over $100 million, and private jets on standby for humanitarian missions. Yet beneath the facade of royal perfection, tension brewed. In 2019, she made global headlines when she fled Dubai with her 2 children, seeking refuge in London. What followed was one of the most publicized royal legal battles in modern history. The UK High Court granted her protective custody and a restraining order after evidence surfaced that Sheikh Mohammed orchestrated the abduction of 2 of his daughters and engaged in acts of intimidation. Today, Princess Haya lives in a multi-million-dollar Kensington estate, shielded by a 24-hour private security detail and under the direct protection of the Metropolitan Police's Royalty and Specialist Protection Unit. Despite her isolation, she continues her humanitarian work through her NGO, T.E.T. Amali, which combats hunger across Jordan and remains a UN messenger of peace. Behind the armored gates and legal walls, her life represents both defiance and survival. A woman who walked away from gold to protect freedom. In the silence of exile, she became her own kingdom. Princess Sara bint Mashour Al Saud, the silent power beside MPS. Among the labyrinth of Saudi palaces and power, Princess Sara bint Mashour Al Saud remains the most enigmatic figure, visible only through whispers and protection details. Married since 2008 to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the future King of Saudi Arabia, she exists in a world defined by secrecy and control. Her life is guarded by layers of defense. The Saudi Royal Guard, the National Guard, and even US private security firms during her international travel. Within the royal network of over 15,000 family members, her security presence is among the most sophisticated. motorcars of armored SUVs, surveillance convoys, and an inner circle trained to prevent leaks or public exposure. Despite being one of the most powerful women in the kingdom, Princess Sara avoids the spotlight. She has no verified photographs released since 2017, no official social media accounts, and rarely accompanies her husband on state visits. This calculated invisibility contrasts sharply with MBS's global presence, reinforcing the image of a private force operating in the background. Insiders describe her as deeply protective of her children and a stabilizing figure within a family constantly balancing reform and tradition. Her past, however, is marked by turbulence. Before her marriage, she reportedly sought asylum in the United Kingdom in 2007, a move linked to disputes over inheritance and restrictions within the royal household. The controversy resurfaced years later through a $325 million legal battle with her brother, one of the largest inheritance disputes in Saudi aristocracy. Yet, instead of fracturing her influence, these events solidified her as a woman capable of navigating one of the world's most complex royal systems. While other royal figures use public image to project power, Princess Sara wields silence as strategy. Behind palace gates, she represents the balance MBS seeks, an alliance of loyalty and restraint. Her quiet authority has made her one of the most protected, yet least understood women in the Middle East. Lubna Olayan, the corporate powerhouse of Saudi Arabia. In a kingdom where power has long been a man's domain, Lubna Olayan rewrote the rules. As the daughter of billionaire industrialist Sultan Olayan, she inherited not just wealth, but a legacy of influence, and elevated it to global scale. Her estimated net worth of $800 million is only part of the story. What truly defines her is the empire she leads, the Olayan Financing Company, a multinational conglomerate with investments in Nestlé, Credit Suisse and Coca-Cola bottling operations across the Middle East. Within its boardrooms, she became a pioneer, Saudi Arabia's first woman to serve on the board of a publicly listed company, Lowell Bank, in 2004, a decision that rippled through the kingdom's financial sector. Known for her composure and precision, Lubna operates with the quiet dominance of a strategist. As deputy chairperson and CEO, she oversees billions in diversified assets spanning real estate, manufacturing and energy. Her leadership style mirrors her father's pragmatism but carries a distinctly modern edge. Balancing tradition with transformation. Beyond business, she serves on the boards of Schlumberger, Mountain Saudi Mining, and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, shaping conversations on technology and sustainability far beyond Riyadh's skyline. But her influence doesn't end in profit margins. As chair of Al-Fanar, the Arab world's first venture philanthropy organization, she invests in education, employment, and women-led startups, turning charity into measurable economic impact. Named among Time's 100 most influential people and Forbes' most powerful women, Lubna Olayan represents a new archetype of Saudi leadership. Global, yet grounded, assertive, yet understated. In a society still evolving toward gender equality, her rise isn't just symbolic, it's systemic. She doesn't fight tradition, she redefines it from the inside. So, tell me, can influence built in silence speak louder than power proclaimed? Sheikha Al-Mayassa bint Hamad Al-Thani, the billion-dollar art collector. In a country where oil wealth built glass towers overnight, Sheikha Al-Mayassa bint Hamad Al-Thani transformed Qatar's riches into cultural power. The sister of the current Emir and heir to a family fortune exceeding $335 billion, she is known as the billion-dollar art collector, a title earned, not inherited. As the chairperson of Qatar Museums, she controls an art acquisition budget of nearly $1 billion per year, giving her influence that rivals Western institutions like the Louvre and the Met. Her mission isn't just to collect, it's to redefine how the Arab world is seen through art, architecture and film. Under her direction, Qatar acquired some of the most expensive artworks ever sold. In 2015, she purchased Paul Gauguin's When Will You Marry for $300 million, followed by Paul Cézanne's The Card Players for $250 million, and Mark Rothko's White Center for $70 million. Each acquisition wasn't a whim, it was a statement. These paintings, displayed in climate-controlled halls of the Museum of Islamic Art and the National Museum of Qatar, symbolize a shift in global art ownership from Europe to the Gulf. But her empire extends far beyond galleries. She founded the Doha Film Institute and forged partnerships with Tribeca Film Festival, cultivating a cinematic bridge between the Middle East and Hollywood. Her Reach Out to Asia initiative funds education and disaster relief across developing nations, while Fashion Trust Arabia champions emerging Arab designers from Beirut to Marrakesh. Protected by the Qatar Royal Guards, her movements are as private as her power is public. Listed on Time's 100 Most Influential People and Forbes Power Women, Sheikha Al-Mayassa is reshaping Qatar's identity, not through oil or politics, but through culture worth hundreds of millions. Huda Kattan, the self-made beauty billionaire. Before she built a beauty empire worth more than $500 million, Huda Kattan was just a finance graduate with a makeup brush and a dream. Born to Iraqi parents and raised in the United States, she studied finance at the University of Michigan Dearborn before trading spreadsheets for eyeshadow palettes. After moving to Dubai in 2008, she worked as a freelance makeup artist, where her ability to blend color and culture caught the attention of international clients. But her real rise began online. In 2010, she launched a beauty blog that quickly evolved into one of the most followed Instagram accounts in the world, now surpassing 50 million followers. By 2013, she turned her growing digital influence into business reality, founding Huda Beauty with her sisters, starting with a line of false eyelashes that instantly sold out at Sephora Dubai Mall. Within 5 years, the brand expanded into foundations, lip kits, and skincare, generating an estimated $200 million in annual revenue and transforming her into one of the most powerful entrepreneurs in the beauty industry. Her products now occupy shelves from New York to Riyadh, each launch crashing websites and redefining what an influencer-led brand could achieve. Yet behind the glamour lies a fortress of protection. Due to her fame and visibility, Huda rarely appears in public without private security, guards trained in both crowd control and digital threat management. Even her business headquarters in Dubai operates under strict security protocols, with restricted access and monitored logistics. Still, Huda remains outspoken on mental health, consumer honesty, and the toxicity of social media, once calling Instagram a dopamine trap built to keep people scrolling. With an estimated net worth of $560 million, Huda Kattan is more than a beauty mogul. She's a blueprint for how digital power can become real-world dominance. Princess Ameerah Al-Taweel, the voice of Saudi change. In a nation where reform often moves at the pace of caution, Princess Ameerah Al-Taweel became the rare royal who spoke without fear. Once married to billionaire investor Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, whose fortune exceeds $17 billion, Ameerah quickly emerged as the public face of modern Saudi womanhood, elegant, educated, and unafraid to challenge expectations. After earning her degree in business administration from New Haven University, she joined Al-Walid Philanthropists as vice chairperson, overseeing humanitarian missions across Pakistan, Somalia, and Burkina Faso, delivering food, medical aid, and funding for orphanages. Her work stretched beyond charity. It was a statement that Saudi women could lead on a global stage. Ameerah's reputation grew not just from her royal status, but from her defiance of silence. At a time when women in Saudi Arabia were still prohibited from driving, she appeared on CNN and NBC, calling for the right to mobility, education, and equality. That advocacy, bold even by international standards, reportedly contributed to her divorce in 2013, but it only amplified her voice. By 2014, she founded Time Entertainment, a media company focused on storytelling that empowers Arab youth, followed by Tame, a non-profit incubator supporting social entrepreneurship across the Middle East. Her influence soon extended to international diplomacy. She has been honored with the Arabian Business Humanitarian Award 2012 and recognized by global publications for bridging Western and Arab perceptions of women's leadership. Today, with a personal net worth of around $20 million, she remains one of Saudi Arabia's most photographed and respected figures, her wardrobe a blend of Dior sophistication and regional identity. Now remarried to Emirati billionaire Khalifa bin Buti al-Meheri, Princess Ameerah continues her mission with quiet power, proving that grace and rebellion can coexist under the same crown. Reem Acra, the Lebanese designer to the royals. When the bombs fell over Beirut in 1983, a young designer named Reem Acra packed her sketches, fled the Lebanese civil war, and began a journey that would one day place her gowns on the world's most powerful women. She arrived in New York City with little more than ambition, studying at the Fashion Institute of Technology before launching her own bridal line in 1997. Within months, her designs caught the attention of high society brides and stylists seeking something that combined Middle Eastern artistry with Western precision. By the early 2000s, her dresses graced red carpets and royal weddings alike. Seen on Beyoncé, Jennifer Lopez, Angelina Jolie, and even First Lady Jill Biden during the 2021 US presidential inauguration. Today, the Reem Acra brand is carried in more than 150 luxury retailers worldwide, from Bergdorf Goodman in New York to Harrods in London. Her couture atelier, located on Madison Avenue, is a sanctuary of silk, crystal embroidery and hand-beaded tulle, where each gown can exceed $20,000 in craftsmanship value. But behind the shimmering layers lies a fortress of security. Bodyguards accompany her to fittings, entrances are monitored, and all custom orders for global royalty are managed under confidentiality agreements. For Acra, luxury isn't only about beauty, it's about trust. Despite her global fame, she remains deeply connected to her Lebanese roots, often returning to mentor young designers and sponsor scholarships for war-affected students pursuing fashion. She once described design as an armor made of fabric, a reflection of her own survival and resilience. From escaping conflict to dressing queens, Reem Acra's story isn't about sewing gowns, it's about stitching together identity, strength, and grace, which makes one wonder how much of true power is worn and how much is created by hand. From royal palaces in Doha to hidden villas in London, these women prove that influence in the Arab world isn't always worn as a crown, it's lived as a strategy. Their lives blend wealth, diplomacy, and unshakable resilience behind some of the world's strongest security details. But what truly protects them isn't armor, it's power. If you enjoyed uncovering these untold stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more from Billionaire Story. And don't miss part 2, where we reveal the secret networks and silent alliances that make these women untouchable.